Today we are going to see 10th chapter, which is circles. First let us understand the definition of a circle, which we had studied in lower classes. We know this is a circle. This circle has infinitely many points, right? So how we are going to define this? Consider a plane. So I have drawn a plane. In that plane I have taken a fixed point, say it is P. From P at a fixed distance I choose a real number, say 4.8. So from P I take a point which is at a distance of 4.8 centimeter. So if I measure this, I am getting 4.8. This 4.8 is any random real number. I have chosen here 4.8. So in this direction also I measure 4.8 and I take a point. In all the possible directions I measure 4.8 centimeter and I start collecting the points, right? Okay. So we are getting a group of points. We call it as set of points. So a circle is collection or set of points which are at equal distance. If you measure the distance of this point from P or this point from P, we will get equal. So it is set of points which are at equal distance from a fixed point. That fixed point is called the center of the circle, and the fixed distance we have chosen is radius of the given circle. So a circle is a set of points which are collected at equal distance from a fixed point in the same plane. And we had studied what is radius of the circle. It is a line segment. It is a line segment whose one end point is at the center and the other end point is on the circle. And AB is a part of the circle. It is a line segment whose both the end points lie on the circle. And we studied what is a diameter, and then arc of a circle, which is a part of the circumference, sector of a circle, segment of the circle. So many points we had studied in the earlier classes. But here in this chapter, mainly we are going to study about the term tangent. The term tangent. Let us see what is a tangent. Before that, let us discuss the three possible cases when a circle and a line are given in the same plane. A circle and a line are taken in the same plane. A circle is drawn, say a line L is drawn. There exist three cases when a circle and a line L is given. So when a circle and a line are given, there exist three different cases, three possible cases. The first case is the line won't intersect the circle. We say there is no point of intersection between the line and the circle. Or we say the line does not intersect the circle. This is one of the three cases. The second case is the line may intersect the circle at only one point. You can see the line intersect the circle at only one point. This is the second case. The third case is the line may intersect the circle at two distinct points. So these are the three cases. So when a circle and a line are given in the same plane, there exist three possibilities. Line does not intersect the circle, or we say the intersection is a null set. The line intersects the circle at only one point. We say the intersection is a singleton set. The line intersects the circle at two distinct points called doubleton set. When a line intersects the circle only at one point, we call that line as a tangent. So here L is called a tangent. So a line is called a tangent of the circle if the line intersects the circle at only one point. If a line intersects the circle at two distinct points, the line is called a secant of the circle. So what is a tangent? Tangent is a line which intersect the circle at only one point. This point of intersection is called point of contact. The point of intersection, that is P, is called point of contact. And here the line L is called a secant of the circle because the line intersects the circle at two distinct points. So we understood what is a tangent of a circle and a secant of the circle. The difference between tangent and a secant is tangent intersects the circle only at one point. Either we say it intersects the circle only at one point, or we say the line touches the circle. And what is a secant? A secant is a line which intersects the circle at two distinct points. Otherwise, it is defined as a line containing a chord of the circle is also called a secant of the circle. Okay. Now again I have drawn a circle. Suppose if we take a point on the circle. Through a point on the circle, how many tangent can be drawn? Only one tangent can be drawn. So a point P is taken. Through P is taken on the circle. Through P only one tangent can be drawn. I take another point Q on the circle. Through Q a tangent can be drawn. I have taken a third point R on the circle. A tangent can be drawn. So through each and every point on the circle, a tangent can be drawn. Therefore, we say a circle has infinitely many points. If the question is through a particular point, how many tangent can be drawn? We can answer only one tangent. But a circle has infinitely many points, and through a particular point, only one tangent can be drawn. When we'll say a secant becomes a tangent of the circle, we understood what is the secant of the circle, right? So here this line L is called a secant of the circle because it intersects the circle at two distinct points, or we say it contains a chord of the circle, hence it is called a secant of the circle. When we call the secant becomes a tangent, if A and B becomes one, if A and B coincide, then we say a secant becomes a tangent of the circle. So what is the condition for a secant to get a tangent? If the two distinct points coincide with one another, the same secant becomes what becomes a tangent of the circle. Suppose if a secant is given, how many tangents can be drawn parallel to one another? Say, this is a secant given. The question is, how many tangents can be drawn parallel to this secant? Here, we can draw one tangent. Similarly, here. So, maximum how many tangents can be drawn parallel to a given secant? There exists maximum 2 tangents which are parallel to the given secant. Suppose if we draw different tangents, we know infinitely many tangents can be drawn to a circle. What is PQ called? PQ is a radius. And what is Q called? Q is the point of contact. The point of intersection of the tangent and the circle, we know it is the point of contact. Okay, so Q is the point of contact. So through Q, if I draw a radius to the circle, we will find the radius is perpendicular to the tangent. So there is a theorem which we are going to learn now. The tangent is perpendicular to the radius drawn through the point of contact. Suppose if I draw another radius here, this line is not perpendicular to this. So this tangent is perpendicular to the radius which is drawn through its point of contact. I draw another tangent here. I name the point of contact as R. So this tangent is perpendicular to the radius which is drawn through this point R. Hope you understood the theorem. We are going to learn this theorem now. Theorem 10.1 is the tangent at any point of a circle is perpendicular to the radius drawn through the point of contact. So we are given a circle with center O. So a circle with center O is given, and this xy is a tangent at the point P. P is the point of contact. What we need to prove, this OP we have to show it is perpendicular to xy. So given a circle with center O, xy is a tangent at the point P, we need to prove OP is perpendicular to xy. We know xy is a line, it has many points. So out of so many points, we have chosen a point Q. So Q is a point on the line xy different from P, right? Where does this Q lies? There exist two possibilities, whether Q lies in the interior or Q lies in the exterior. So this is the circle. We have taken a line xy which is a tangent of the circle. So we have chosen a point Q on the line xy. Q cannot lie in the interior. Suppose if Q lies in the interior of the circle and xy is a line like this xy will intersect the circle at 2 points if Q lies in the interior. But what is xy given? Xy is a tangent. Therefore, to get xy is a tangent of the circle, the point we have chosen should be in the exterior of the circle. Therefore, choose a point Q on the line xy different from P. Q cannot lie in the interior. If it lies in the interior, then the line, the tangent becomes a secant of the circle. Therefore, Q should lie in the exterior of the circle. Okay. If it is in the exterior, I join here. Q is a point in the exterior of the circle. P is a point on the circle. So if you measure the distance of a point on the circle and a point in the exterior of the circle, naturally which distance will be greater? OQ is greater than OP, because P is a point on the circle, Q is a point in the exterior of the circle. So naturally OQ will be greater than OP. So similar to Q, if I take different points R here, S here, T here on the line different from P, I will get all these distances will be greater than what? Greater than OP. Because P is a point on the circle and all these points are in the exterior of the circle. So naturally OT will be greater than OP, OR will be greater than OP, OS also will be greater than OP. So taking many points on the line, each and every point of the line XY, right? If you measure the distance from O, those distances will be greater than what? Greater than OP. Therefore, which is the shortest? OP is the shortest of all the lines we have drawn, right? Any shortest distance should be perpendicular. Therefore, OP is perpendicular to what? Perpendicular to XY. Let us understand by reading this. Choose a point Q on XY different from P and join OQ. So choose a point Q where on the line XY different from P. P and Q are not the same point, they are different points, and join OQ. Where does this Q lies? Q lies in the exterior of the circle. If Q lies in the interior, the tangent becomes a secant of the circle, which is not true. Therefore, Q lies in the exterior. So the point Q must lie outside the circle, means in the exterior, because if Q lies inside the circle, then XY will become a secant and not a tangent. Therefore, this OQ is greater than what? Greater than OP. OQ is greater than OP. This is true for every point on the line XY except which point? Except the point P. If you take a point here, anywhere. So except the point P, each and every point on the line XY except P satisfies this condition. Therefore, OP is the shortest of all the distances of O to the points of XY. That is drawn here. Right? OP is the shortest. If you compare OP with OQ or OP with OT, OR, OS, if you compare, this becomes the shortest. Any shortest distance should be perpendicular. There is a theorem. Because it is the shortest, we proved this OP is perpendicular to XY. So the theorem is the tangent at any point, if you draw a tangent at any point of the circle, it is perpendicular to the radius which is drawn through the point of contact. So we are given a circle with center O and XY is a tangent at the point P. We need to prove OP is perpendicular to XY. Now choose a point Q different from P on the line XY. Q cannot lie inside the circle. If it lies inside, the tangent becomes the secant of the circle. Therefore, Q should lie in the exterior. If you compare OP with OQ, OQ is greater than OP. Taking similar points on XY, we can prove OP is the shortest. Because it is the shortest, we can conclude OP is perpendicular to XY. Exercise 10.1, page number 209. Let us read the first question. How many tangents can a circle have? When a circle is given, how many tangents can be drawn? Infinitely many. This we saw in the beginning of the topic. Infinitely many tangents can be drawn to a circle. The second question is fill in the blanks. In this, the first subdivision is a tangent to a circle. A tangent to a circle intersects the circle in only one point. Tangent means in how many points it intersects? Only one point. The second subdivision is a line intersecting a circle in 2 points. If you find a line intersecting the circle at 2 points, what is the name of that line? The line is called a secant of the circle. And the third subdivision is a circle can have dash parallel tangents at the most. How many parallel tangents can be drawn? Only 2 parallel tangents. And the fourth one is the common point of a tangent to a circle, and the circle is called the point of contact. When you take a circle and a line, this point is called the point of contact. The question is the common point of a tangent to the circle, and the circle is called what? The point of contact. Okay. The third question is a tangent PQ. PQ is the tangent of the circle at the point P of radius 5 cm. This is given. And a line through O, that is the center of the circle, at a point Q, so that OQ is equal to what? Equal to 12 cm. The tangent and the line through the center meets at which point? At the point Q. OQ is given 12. The question is find out what? Find out PQ. PQ is asked. Okay. What is PQ called? PQ is called the length of the tangent. If you measure the distance between the point of contact and the point from which the tangent is drawn, then that point is called what? Length of the tangent. So PQ is called length of the tangent. Just now we studied a theorem. The radius is perpendicular to the tangent which is drawn through its point of contact. Theorem 10.1. Therefore, I write by theorem 10.1, what is measure of angle P? P is equal to 90 degree. Therefore, this OPQ is a right angle triangle. We are going to use Pythagoras. What is Pythagoras theorem? OQ square is equal to OP square plus PQ square. What is this OQ square? OQ is given as 12. 12 square is equal to 5 square plus PQ square. 12 square is 144. 144 minus 25 is equal to PQ square. So subtracting will get PQ square is equal to 119. Therefore, what is PQ? PQ is root of 119. Hope you understood. This we get 90 degree because of theorem 10.1. The radius drawn through the point of contact is perpendicular to its corresponding tangent. Therefore, angle P becomes 90 degree. Because this is 90 degree, OQ becomes the hypotenuse. Pythagoras we have used. OQ square is equal to OP square plus PQ square. Okay. Come to the fourth question. Draw a circle, right? And two lines parallel to a given line such that one is a tangent and the other is the secant of the circle. So we have drawn a circle with center O. N is the given line. Now we have to draw two lines, right, such that one is a tangent and other one is a secant. Both should be parallel to or parallel to N. So let us write N is the given line. What is M? M is a tangent because it intersects the circle only at one point. And what is L? L is a secant. You can find L is parallel to M, parallel to what? Parallel to N. So N is the given line. The question is, draw two lines parallel to N in such a way that one is a tangent of the circle, the other one is a secant of the circle.